Shalom. Shalom and welcome. Welcome. This is part 3 of the introduction. It's a 3-part introduction to a new series of messages which will be under the banner of Extinction Protocols. Extinction Protocols Preparing for Transition. I want you to consider reading 1 Corinthians 15:50 and 1 John 3:2 and understand that we will face natural and practical transitions, and there will come a time where we will face the ultimate transition. My brothers and sisters, this is a message to you who I believe seek to do the will of the Almighty Father. Yahuah is his name, and who have come to accept that no man can come unto the Father except by Yahusha, our Mashyach, our MessiYah. And it is to you of whom these messages are being presented. You who will be among the olive trees and lampstands. True olive trees represent true Yashar'al, and the lampstands represent the assembly brought together and made one, the golden lampstands, who will represent the final assembly, who we will come to see represent the multitude of many nations, kindreds, and tongues, as described in Revelation 7th chapter. With that said, if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Symmanayah, and today is May 8th, 2014. Let us move into part 3. My brothers and sisters, this journey is complex, and the sooner each of us come to realize we serve a living Savior, the sooner, the better, we will begin to witness clear understanding of what is expected of us. Global populations, as well as the population within our own communities, are large in numbers. If the majority of people waited to the most obvious of proof regarding end-time prophecies, it will result in much gridlock from massive congestion as people frantically seek to acquire food and water, along with getting to a place they believe will be safe. Believe it or not, there are many. There's a majority, I believe, of those who will be alive who have not yet mastered what it means to set priorities, or not yet come to discern the living guidings of the Spirit of Yahusha as he directs us in priorities. There are many who are void of such and will find themselves struggling to determine what to do first as end times become intense. Seek food and water, shelter, find loved ones. These and so much more will be the challenges going forth and going through the minds of those who seek to press forward with expectations of finding a solution. In other words, trying to find water or shelter, trying to find food, or should we look for a loved one first? Where should we go? These are going to be challenges that we will see erupt as end times become intense. The Spirit of Yahusha has and will make known his chosen leaders. There are and will continue to be living instructions and warnings from our living Savior through us one to another, through his sent messengers, and through his chosen leaders. I sometimes feel overwhelmed with what has been revealed, but I trust the words and all that my Messiah presents before me. As I pray, it is as though I see other brothers and sisters facing similar experiences, and I know that I am not alone. I know unequivocally, without a doubt, there are brothers and sisters who hear from the Spirit of Yahusha and desire to help others discover the same, if not more. I realize we must and will press on. We will find ourselves pressing forward and soon coming to witness amazing and phenomenal things come to be as we are indeed refined, perfected by the living orders from our Almighty Father Yahuah through his set-apart Spirit sent in Yahusha's name, Yahusha, our Messiah. Pray and watch. I believe phenomenal things, extraordinary things are ahead. My brothers and sisters, I realize the title of this new group of messages may seem harsh, alarming, or to a degree possibly frightening. But realities do not discriminate what is unfolding, what is factual, as we witness end time prophecies unfold, they will not wait for us to believe, to accept, to yield. End time prophecies will be fulfilled, and all words, all covenants, all promises will come to be made by the Most High. Please be advised, there will be price increases. There will be price increases, followed by the emptying of grocery store shelves, as I mentioned earlier, empty warehouses, ravaged distribution centers, and more, as drought brings the most severe times that will result in much famine. No water, no food. Look around, my brothers and sisters. The signs of the times are before us. We are hearing words like never before has this occurred. We've never seen this happening. We don't understand what is going on. We don't have a solution in sight. We are reaching peak level water, peak level food. Global warming and climate change is bringing conditions where some areas where people once dwelled are no longer habitable due to rising coastal lands, due to storms destroying areas where people once lived, due to landslides and earthquakes and volcanic activity. My brothers and sisters, we are facing many challenges, of which many of us think by ignoring, by saying, I'm not afraid, I just trust the Most High. Yes, we are supposed to trust the Most High, and no, we are not supposed to be afraid. But we are to be mindful of the signs of the times, and we are to fear the Almighty Father, Yahuah. For fear of Yahuah is the beginning of knowledge. It's the beginning of wisdom, my brothers and sisters. Let us learn to be obedient in our worship and in our quest to serve the Most High. Do you honestly think we will be removed from what is about to happen? That we'll be removed expeditiously? I am compelled to believe, though we may be quick to describe the emerging conditions as wrath or say, oh no, it's not coming yet, we have not begun to see the intensity that lies ahead. I further am compelled to believe we will actually be in the midst of end time prophecies to a specific degree of humbling, such that it is necessary to bring us together in unity before we come to identify massive movement regarding our final exodus. In other words, I believe with all my mind, body, and soul, the 144,000 in multitude, we will face humbling times, of which will result in our ability to become united and journey then to a safe place as directed and ordered by the Most High Father through Yahusha, our Messiah. There will be exceptions. There will be those who will be martyrs, who will die for the reign of Yahusha. There will be those who will be among the disobedient, who will be left behind and face a different end. I invite you to seriously measure what is being brought to your attention and make wise decisions of how you will respond to these words. The time will come when hindsight will only bring much regret, heartache, and pain to those who are void of discerning, understanding, and obeying the living guidance from the Spirit of Yahusha. Whether it's directly through another brother or sister, us one towards another, through his chosen leaders, or whether it's through his sent messengers. My brothers and sisters, I will present critical things as they are brought to my attention regarding our refinement and final journey through this series of messages entitled Extinction Protocol, Preparing for a Transition, unless I am otherwise directed to do something different. Please pray on any and all words presented. I am compelled to believe the Spirit of Yahushua will make known all that is necessary for us to fulfill what is written. Remember, there will be times when we must purge people from our midst and occasionally come away from things that are wicked and evil. When I say occasionally, in some cases we will either purge or we will come away. Let us pursue righteousness. Let us seek to be obedient. Let us be strong and have the fortitude to stand firm as we journey closer to our final exodus, as we journey closer towards the time of our return of our Mashyach, our Messiah Yahusha. As we move into this next group of messages under the label Extinction Protocols, Preparing for Transition, I encourage you to begin to identify opportunities for asking questions. Questions, more questions, and even additional questions, for this is good. Questions are a gateway to discoveries. If there is something you disagree with coming from my mouth, I invite your audience, your attention. I invite you to contact me. Let us ask questions of one another, if we are indeed led by the Spirit of Yahusha. Come, my brothers and sisters, let us continue to bind together as we are refined. Let us discover when to purge wickedness from our midst and embrace those who hunger after righteousness, and show in deed and in action, in words, in spirit, and in truth, as we lift up Yahusha, our Messiah, through our worship and obedience, and watch him draw us together, my brothers and sisters. Let us learn how to righteously reason with one another. Let us come to discover the full spectrum of iron sharpening iron. Believe it or not, there are those who fail to realize iron sharpening iron are two or more of the same metal being used to strike against one another to purge the impurities, resulting in a refined edge or more polished product. I will conclude this three-part introduction trusting that the Spirit of Yahushua will make alive any and all righteous words. I will conclude believing that those whom he see fit will hear these words and will be drawn to these words as he see fit. Pray, my brothers and sisters. I invite you to continue tuning in as we move into a serious time in our lives, a time where extinction protocols preparing for transitions just maybe words and messages that will aid in avoiding being trampled over by a stampede of people as congestion and chaos break out in the wake of intense times related to drought, freshwater shortages, extreme food shortages, which is famine, pestilence, and disease. Do not wait till it's too late to begin praying and seeking what the Spirit of Yahushua has to say. Hear what he has to say to you and to the assemblies. Let us have open eyes. Let us have clear ears, clear eyes, open ears. Let us have a mind, body, and spirit to respond. Know when to be still, when to act, when to speak, when to be silent. For our redemption draws close. Our Mashyach, our Messiah, Yahusha, will soon return. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, I invite you to gird up in prayer and in study and stay tuned as we move into this series of messages that I am compelled to believe will prove to be fruitful. A series of messages entitled Extinction Protocols, Preparing for Transitions. Till next time, shalom. Shalom. Shalom.